Do you know the Gerber format? The Gerber format is the standard format for the PCB industry managed by Ucamco. If you have ever ordered some PCBs, you may have used it. This link document describes all of the Gerber format. It's about 200 pages and not difficult, so I recommend you to read if you are a PCB engineer. I read it thoroughly and made my own Gerber viewer, so I can handwrite patterns while reading the short Gerber file. It's an example of a Gerber file. The flow of Gerber format is: first, specify the unit. Next, define a processing shape called aperture. Then, select aperture and flash or drag to draw a line. Let's take a closer look at this Gerber file. G04 is a comment. Command starting with FS, format specification, specify a decimal point. In this case, the upper 4 digits are treated as a whole number part and the lower 6 digits are treated as a decimal part. Command starting with mode, specify the unit. Indicates that data are in millimeters. Commands that start with AD, aperture definition, define aperture. In this case, the aperture defined D10 is defined as 0.1 mm circle. We can also choose from rectangle R, O round O, and polygon P. In addition, we can define a complex aperture by using the AM, aperture macro, command. G01 command specifies linear interpolation mode. D10 command specifies that D10 aperture is used. From here, it is the trajectory of D10. Coordinates and D02 command indicates to move to the described coordinates without drawing, and flash the aperture. Coordinates and D01 command represents drawing a line by dragging the aperture from the previous coordinates to the current coordinates. In the case of this file, the aperture is a circle of 0.1 mm, and draws straight lines in the order of 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. In other words, draw a square with a thickness of 0.1 mm and a side length of 1 mm. Basically, if you read up to X lines, you can draw patterns uniquely according to the data up to that point. This structure is suitable for sequential processing. In the old days, it seems that the pattern was drawn by moving the aperture-shaped light source according to the Gerber file. However, there are also graphic composition commands such as G36 command, fill, and LPC, clear pattern, now, so that Gerber data are treated as vector images now. For more information, please see the Gerber format specification. Okay, let's edit two Gerber files directly and combine them. I prepared a fill pattern on the front copper layer and a character string of py.jp on the margin layer. Combine these and clear the character string from the fill pattern off front copper. Output these two layers to Gerber files. Please note that fs, mo command and origin must be same. Open two Gerber files in a text editor. The tf command is a file attributes. It does not affect to the pattern. There is also a description of the layer name, but it seems that PCB makers often identify layers by the Gerber extension. But, if you want to change the extension to the different layer and replace it, I recommend you to inform the manufacturer in advance. The TA command is an aperture attribute specification command. It described the pad name etc. The td command is an attribute deleting command. You don't have to worry about them. 2 apertures are defined in this file. This section uses D10 aperture to draw the outline. Fill is enabled with this G36 command. This section uses D11 aperture to draw the fill region. Fill is disabled with this G37 command. M02 command marks the end of the file. Add an LPC command and text pattern just before the M02 command. This margine layer has only one aperture, and that undefined in the front copper layer. Paste this aperture at the end of the aperture definition of the front copper layer. Rewrote the added aperture to D12 so that the D code is not duplicate. Rewrite the aperture specification command of the margine layer to D12 and paste it after the LPC command. This is completed. Save the front copper layer and check it with the Gerber viewer. If you edited the Gerber file directly like this, be sure to check it with the Ucamco reference viewer. This is the most correct Gerber viewer. We can't see the text pattern. It has an error on line 41. It seems that the end command M02 cannot be found because forcibly terminating the reading there. I forgot the asterisk after the LPC. Fixed. Let's try opening it again with the Gerber viewer. It's okay. How was it? If you are interested in this video, please subscribe and like. Thank you for watching.